This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He is freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Hey, hello, and what up? Happy Tuesday, the Jason Walker Show, hanging out in the man cave, back and having a good time. Coming up today on the big show, talking to Dane Broadhead, Helena High football coach. Bengals 6-1, coming off a big win over Flathead, heading to Big Sky this week. We'll talk to him about both of those and what's his favorite football game to play on the gaming consoles. Talk about that as well with Coach Broadhead. Also on this day in history, the walk-off, your auto contest performance of the week, and much more. We've got your football rankings. You can watch on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports. So many great places. Just go to jasonwalkershow.com for anything. The opening segment that we like to now call the Walk-Up is presented by Montana Custom Log Homes. They are the premier log home company in the industry. 3 distinct divisions, so you can create the log home of your dreams and your budget. Check it out. They've got milled, handcrafted, and timber frame, 15 different floor plans, and or you can go in with your own. They'll work with you. Get a hold of Montana Custom Log Homes today at yourcustomlog.com. Well, last week we saw it again with a football coach. Fired, suspended, verbiage. Last night in Deer Lodge, the Powell County School Board voted 7-0 to reinstate Deer Lodge football coach Andrew Verlanic 5 days after he was suspended for his critique of community and school support for sports. He was asked by the Deer Lodge News Network why the Wardens switched sidelines this year. Instead of having their home crowd behind them, they switched to the opposite side. And he basically said, look, our hometown is jeering our players and giving them a hard time. So we moved. And look, Deer Lodge hasn't been good for a while. They've been outscored 335-30 this year. They're playing 8-man instead of Class B. In that video, Verlanic said that basically there's a bad attitude towards the school. And, his own kids, stepkids, go to Drummond, and that's where a lot of his players talked about going to Butte Central or Drummond. I mean, we know how good Drummond is, but, he basically said, look, there's a better gym, a better weight room, locker room, cafeteria. Verlanic played at Drummond, played at MSU. He said that he was fired last Thursday. The language was changed to suspended by Superintendent Rick Duncan. And then they had a team meeting, or a school board meeting. And the school board said, no, we want you back. The whole team was there. Deer Lodge, like I said, has struggled for a while. They're 0-6 this year. They're playing varsity again for the first time in 3 seasons. They played JV. They didn't have numbers the last couple of years. And it's been, slow going. And basically, Verlanic's like, dude, we've got to change the culture. And he's got that opportunity. He's got that chance. And this time the school board somewhere got it right. Wardens will be at Sims Friday and host Lone Peak next week to close out the season. It's good. Good on him for sticking up for his players and his school, and good on the school board And I know we've had our issues with school boards across the state this year, especially down in Boulder last spring, but good job. Well done there by that school board. So, let's see here. Got your high school football rankings. We'll start in the AA. Got some big games. I mean, we have 2 weeks left in the regular season. Bozeman has won 5 straight. Capital undefeated still. Sentinel keeps rolling. Helena High keeps rolling. We'll talk to Dane Broadhead coming up. You got Sentinel at Capital this week. That's a big one. Number 1 against number 3. And AA, Capital on top. Helena High, number 2. Then Sentinel, Billings West, and Gallatin, which is 6-1. And is it Bozeman Gallatin this week? I think it is. Ooh, rivalry game in the Gallatin Valley. We'll talk to Alex Eshelman about that one tomorrow. In Class A, it's Hamilton, Lewistown, Billings Central, Polson, and Columbia Falls. Big Fork in Class B, number 1, followed by Townsend. Travis Rao will be on the show tomorrow as well, or Thursday. I believe Thursday, Coach Rao is going to join us. Florence Carlton at number 3, Huntley 4, Malta 5, Eureka 6. And then Glasgow, Jefferson had dropped 4 spots. They reached as high as number 2. They've lost a couple in a row and sliding back to number 8. Whitehall and then Columbus, number 10. In 8-man, it's Drummond-Phillipsburg. Great article at 406mtsports.com about Drummond-Phillipsburg, how they just keep winning after switching divisions. Belt, Chinook, St. Ignatius, Culbertson. Your bottom 10, Joliet, Ennis, Superior, Fairview, Cascade. I guess your next 5 in the top 10. And then in 6-man, it is Big Sandy, Broadview, Lavina, Custer, Hysham, Melstone, moving up 4 spots to number 3. Centerville up a couple to number 4. Bridger drops 2 to 5. Roy Winifred up 4 to number 6, followed by Savage, Chester, Joplin, Inverness, which stumbled, dropped 4 spots, as did Power, Dutton, Brady. They're both 5-2, CJI and PDB, and then Floyd Lake in there as well. So that's your high school rankings as we head into the final couple of weeks here of the regular season. Speaking of 406, so this is where my other job now comes into play. So I'm the sports information director, as you know, at the University of Providence. And my job is to get press releases, media releases out to the media, TV stations, radio stations, newspapers, etc., across the state. 406mtsports.com. And I don't know if it's Chris over here at the IR who, for some reason, doesn't like me, blocked me on the Twitter. Ooh. Like I'm not going to read your stuff online anyway. But they have not yet printed a press release from the University of Providence. And it's like, dude, don't punish the Argos because you don't like me in this show. Don't be morons. Support the kids. If you can print Carroll stuff, you can print Western, Tech, Rocky, even Northern. Don't blow off Providence, or else we'll have a big problem. And it's not the matter of getting my writing out there. It's getting the writing out there about the kids and the programs that are doing their best. So that's the beef with 406. There's always somebody, right? Always somebody. Baseball playoffs in full swing. Man, tough one for my Metsies. The way they ended September reminded me of 07, 08 collapses. They had a 13.5 game lead at one point over the Braves back in the summer and June or July, and ended up getting swept by the Braves. Beat badly 2 out of 3 by the Padres last weekend in the wild card round. 102 wins on the year. Couldn't make it to the next round. So now who do you root for? If your team gets knocked out of the playoffs, who do you root for? You can weigh in anytime at Jay Walker Sports on the Twitter, or email Jason at jasonwalkershow.com. But if your team, and it doesn't matter the sport, if your favorite team, the team that you root for, ends up not advancing, making the postseason or not advancing in the postseason and winning it all, do you root for anybody else? Do you keep watching? Do you find another team? You know, as a Mets fan, you can't root for the Braves. You can't root for the Phillies. Definitely not the Dodgers. Can you root for the Padres? Do you go Astros? Definitely not the Yankees. Not a Mariners guy. Never liked Seattle. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Who should I root for? Or should I? It's like if the Cats get knocked out or don't make the playoffs, you know, I don't root for anybody else to win it. I root against the Grizz, but that's the rivalry, right? So who do you root for? Or do you? You can weigh in at Jay Walker Sports, at Jason Walker Show on the Twitter as well. So let's see, what else did we see recently that we wanted to maybe chat about? Tommy Millott. We'll ask Alex Escherman about this. Tommy Millott, speaking of the Bobcats, is cleared to play. And Brent Vigen said in his press conference yesterday the plan is to start him this week at Northern Colorado. We'll get more from Alex on that. But, Tommy, touchdown Tommy back. But it's not a quarterback controversy. And some of the media are trying to make something of it. But you've got two very good quarterbacks in Sean Chambers and Tommy Millott. Chambers has, 15 rushing touchdowns? I think that's most in the FCS. And you got a pretty good receiving core. And again, you don't have Lance McCutcheon, but you've got Willie Patterson. You've got other guys out there. Grizza coming off the bye, 5-0, 2-0 in the Big Sky. They're at home this week. It's almost like they never travel. Feels like the Grizz never leave the state. They've got Idaho this week. That big trophy on the line. Lucas Johnson getting it done at quarterback. So he's looked good so far for the Grizz. So a couple of big games in the Big Sky this week as well. Let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, we're going to check in with Dane Broadhead, the Helena High football coach. Also on the way on this day in history, we'll take your tweets, your emails, however you want to reach out. You can to the Jason Walker Show. The Walk Up, brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry, family-owned, veteran-owned, woman-owned, and operated. And speaking of veterans, my son's home for the next 5-6 weeks. He brought me an American flag that flew with his company in Romania a couple of years ago. And we're going to hang it. We're going to get it framed and hung up here in the man cave. But appreciate that. He's not a veteran. He's still active duty. He's actually home until mid-November, and then he leaves for Hawaii for 3 years. So appreciate that, big guy. And can't wait to put that on display here in the man cave. I know we've got this flag, but this one here saw some action in Romania. So appreciate that. All right, quick break, come back. Dane Broadhead joins us next here at Jason Walker Show.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. We kidding. We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or two. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid across from Molendi Center, the Copper Club Casino.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Is the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. The segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. On this day in history coming up, your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week, and much more. Here on a Tuesday, tomorrow Alex Eshelman will join us. We'll talk to Travis Rowell. Boulder Jefferson. No, he's not. He's the Townsend head coach. Wow. Don't get those two mixed up. We'll talk to Coach Rao on Thursday. Ooh, Nelly. All right. Speaking of football and teams you shouldn't mess up, Helena High is 6-1. Won 6 consecutive after dropping a heartbreaker in the opener. And joining us now to talk about the big win over Flathead last week and look ahead to Missoula Big Sky this week on the road is the head coach in his first season, Dane Broadhead, joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, Coach, you and I were just talking a little bit, but, you know, this time of the year, when you get into October with the baseball playoffs and then late October, November, football playoffs, college football, you know, entering the final stretch, is this the best time of the year, or is it March with basketball tournaments and baseball starting?
Well, I'm probably a little biased, but definitely this time of year, right?
I knew you were going there.
Well, the Braves are in the playoffs. They dropped a tough one today to the Phillies, though. Dang it, dropped game 1. But yeah, man, if you don't like this time of year as a sports fan, there's something wrong with you. You know, high school ball's getting into the playoffs here in a couple weeks. You got playoff baseball, which it doesn't get much better than that. And yeah, you're getting into the thick of the college season. NFL's heating up a little bit. You even got preseason hockey on, man. It's a great time of year.
I know. You bring up your Braves. I am a little disappointed because my Mets basically choked it away in September. That final regular season weekend, you just can't get swept. And then losing to the Padres like they did.
Just the Mets doing Mets things, I guess.
Basically, yeah, thanks. So
yeah,
now,
not to rub it in.
Now I don't know who to cheer for.
Well, you got it. Well, yeah, it's tough to go in at least, I guess, go for the Braves. Anybody but the Dodgers, right?
Yeah, I mean, do I go for the Padres? I don't like the American League, so.
Yeah, I kind of like the Padres. You know, I like they got some good young guys, and they're kind of fun to watch. I like their brand of baseball. So
the pitchers.
I'd probably go. If I wasn't going Braves, I'd probably go Padres, I guess.
I can't do the Braves this year, Coach. I just can't.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't hold it against you.
We're talking with Dane Broadhead, Helena High football coach. You mentioned playoffs starting in high school in a couple weeks. You got 2 weeks left in the regular season, coming off a huge win, though, over Flathead. Carter Kraft, we haven't mentioned his name really a lot lately the last few weeks. It's just been kind of a who's who of Bengals getting the job done, but he showed up once again, and I know he's been there and he's been solid, but what a great performance he had.
Oh, it was unbelievable, yeah. And honestly, you went back and watched the tape, and, you know, we talked about it on Monday. He probably should have had more. He probably should have thrown for 500. You know, he missed a couple balls early to Mello that I know he wanted back. We had some one-on-one stuff working with him and just missed on a couple. But, yeah, set a school record for us in terms of passing yards in a game. I can't remember. I think he ended up at like 438 or something like that, which was, yeah, just an absolute monster performance from him. And, you know, he's just gotten better as the year's gone on. You know, he was a relatively, you know, unknown commodity coming off of, you know, coming out of the shadow of Caden Hewitt, and you know, he's been nothing but steady for us. So it's been really fun to watch. It's been fun to watch his progression, not only as a quarterback but a leader on our team. So we're gonna, you know, hope to get more big games out of him down the stretch.
I mentioned we hadn't really talked about him because, you know, you had a guy like Cade Holland, you got other guys that have stepped up, but then you go back this game. This is almost like the second game of the year where it's Carter, it's Manu, Tevin Wetzel getting involved even. I mean, like I said, who's who of Bengals getting the job done for you guys over the last 7 weeks?
Yeah, you know, it's been fun to see, you know, different guys step up at different times. Obviously, Mello's gotten a lot of press, and rightfully so. You know, Manu's done some unbelievable things for us this year. But, you know, we were a couple yards away on a couple different guys from having three guys over 100 yards receiving. You know, Carson Anderson had a big game for us. Coulter Petrie had a big game for us. Wetzel was a late start for us when Holland was out. You know, he was kind of a game time decision and scratched on Holland, and, you know, was next guy up. And so it's fun to watch guys, you know, when they get their opportunity, step up and make plays, you know, and a lot of that stems from what we're doing up front, you know, those guys getting it done in the trenches, because none of those skill guys, you know, obviously I love watching football where you're airing it out and doing all that stuff, but really you can't have any success doing that unless you got the big boys doing their thing up front. So it's fun to watch. You know, our offense has been fun, you know, when things are clicking, and Coach Garza's got a good plan put together for the guys, and they come out and execute. You know, it can be really fun for us on Friday.
You know, I look back over the last 9 years, I guess, watching Helena High football, and I don't remember a passing game since maybe, you know, you look back to a Derek Olson out at wide receiver, and you've had some good receivers, and Caden Hewitt was a great quarterback, but Helena High is a lot like everybody else, built on that run game. And you guys have that ability. One game it's the rushing attack, and then last week the passing attack.
Yeah, and that's been huge for us, is to try to stay balanced. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've done a good job, you know, manufacturing some big plays. You know, we've done a good job moving guys around and finding creative ways to get guys the ball in space. And you know, to his credit, Carter's done a really nice job of executing the plan. And, you know, Yeah, like you said, there were some games where we've come out and ran the ball really well. Other games where it was a little tougher sledding up front. We've been able to air it out a little bit. And, I think that's part of it, is just adjusting week by week and finding what's working and what matchups we can find. And then, it just comes down to execution. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
We can X and O it to death and put all these plans together. But, man, unless the kids come out and execute, you're going to have some tough sledding on Fridays. And credit to our guys for being able to do that the last, 5 or 6 weeks.
We're talking with Helena High football coach Dane Broadhead on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Another big aspect, obviously, you got defense. You hold a team like Flathead, and I know Flathead's been down for a few years, but this is this was a dangerous game for you guys with 2 weeks left in the regular season, or 3 at the time. But that defense just keeps showing up week in and week out.
Yeah, they did. It was different guys at different times on Friday nights. Last Friday, making some big plays for us. I think we had 3 or 4 turnovers, takeaways, if you will, on defense. Which is huge. Did a really nice job within the 20-yard line. Down in the red zone. Flathead got in a couple times, and we were able to keep them out. And that's huge. It's one of those deals that, Flathead came out, they had a good plan. The quarterback ran the ball really well against us at times. And, we gave up some things inside, between the 30s. But when they get in the red zone, that's huge for our guys to kind of bow their neck and find a way to keep them out of the zone. And our guys did that. It was, at times it was the D front being disruptive. At times it was, Fry and Wetzel at linebacker making plays, and Celesta and Nolan Mosses had a big game coming off the edge. And then our secondary played well. RJ had another pick on Friday. Lieberg had one down in the red zone when they were driving late in the game. So it's fun, to see those guys fly around and make plays, and different guys at different times.
You head off to Missoula Big Sky and really the final road game of the year, potentially anyway, the way everything's looking. Big Sky, you never know what to expect from the Eagles week in and week out with them, because they can be up, they can be down, they can be riding high or whatnot. But take me through what you see about the Eagles on film.
Yeah, I know the one guarantee that you're going to get from Big Sky, no matter what, is they're going to come out and they're going to play hard. Coach Johnson does a great job with those guys. They're going to come out and pound it on you. They're, physical up front. They're maybe a little undersized, but, man, those guys really get after it. They're very athletic up front, so they make up for some of that being undersized with some good athletes on the O-line. And, and then they fly around defensively, and they'll do some different things, maybe show us a couple different looks. And, the one thing that we've always found with those guys, particularly in Missoula, is they're going to get after it, and their backs are up against the wall a little bit in terms of the playoffs. So I know they're going to come out fired up, ready to go. And I know we're going to get their best shot. It's not a game you can take lightly, or, if you don't show up and play physical football against these guys, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt on Friday.
It is International Sausage Pizza Day. What's your favorite pizza?
Geez, that's a tough one. I like probably rock the boat a little bit on this, but I like pineapple, man. I'm like a Canadian bacon and pineapple Hawaiian guy. That's pretty hard to beat. I know some people are, they kind of frown at pineapple on a pizza, but man, that's about as good as it gets.
I will support the Canadian bacon aspect, but not the pineapple. I just can't do it.
You got to branch out, man.
I've tried it. It's not happening. Speaking of your Braves, it was on this date in 1948, the Cleveland Indians beat the Boston Braves to win the World Series, the last World Series Cleveland won until, 2017. So there you go. Little history.
I'm still a little bitter about that one. Tough year.
Oh, man. Speaking of Hawaii, Michelle Weeborn on this day too. Just a little little knowledge for you.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of good stuff going on this day.
Hey, I'm not just a radio host. I also enlighten really, coaches with great history. So
I love it, man. If ESPN still had the Stump the Swab show, man, you should have signed up on that one. That was a good one as a kid. I remember watching that thing.
That was a good show. What was your favorite ESPN show besides that one?
Oh, geez, that's tough. I mean, obviously, in this probably a little biased as a football guy, but it's hard to root against college game day.
Okay.
And honestly, once that like just lets you know that fall's back. You know, you got high school football rolling late August, and then once game goes on Saturday mornings, man, you know it's on for the next few months, and it's football season again.
What was the show with Melissa Stark back in the day? Was it Scholastic Sports America? Do you remember that one?
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
That's a little old school. That one might be before your time.
That might have been, yeah. I vaguely know what you're talking about, but I'd have to go back and YouTube it, I guess.
I do have to ask you this before I let you leave. You got a couple of kids. Are they into Bluey?
Bluey, yeah, they know it. That one's not a big one right now. They were on that one maybe for a little bit, got it from daycare or something, but I'm not huge Bluey fans in this house.
Really? You're like the only parent I've talked to that says that.
We've watched it a couple times. I know it's been on Netflix a couple times, but it's not a staple. Colt's really he's into football season right now, man. He's locked in. He found the old NFL Blitz on the N64, so we've been playing that at night. So that's been kind of fun to do with him.
That's why I couldn't call at 6:30 because I had
That's right. The
Packers Blitz out of the way.
Yeah, Packers and the Broncos were lost in a slugfest, and we needed Coach Schulte around because we were giving up a lot of points tonight.
Oh man, favorite game then, was it that one or remember the original Tecmo Bowl?
Even that dates me a little bit. I mean, the NFL Blitz is a good one. The 64 is the best console by far. I got the old Super Smash Brothers. That was a good one. Original James Bond GoldenEye was a good one. Oh, and Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest. I'm trying to get him into that one too. That's a classic game.
Okay. Well, you need to get back into Bluey. It's a really, really good show. You'd enjoy it by yourself.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll have to get into that because some of that stuff on Netflix is kind of tough to watch.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I've got a 4-year-old. You get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right there with you.
I know what it's like.
Yeah. We'll have to dive into that.
Maybe after the season, we'll get together with some beverages and watch Bluey this series.
Now you're talking. Who needs Hard Knocks when you got Bluey?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows what's going to happen in NFL training camps and throughout the season.
Yeah, exactly.
We need Bluey.
I'm with you.
Good luck Friday night. We'll chat before the big crosstown matchup next week, but thanks for joining us. Get some sleep and maybe fall asleep watching some Bluey tonight.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
It is Dane Broadhead on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, Helena High 6-1. By the way, it's not just a bundle. It's your home, it's your auto, it's your life. Mike understands that. Get a hold of Mike Miller State Farm in Helena today. Your Auto Concepts Performance of the Week, and it's really hard to pick a winner. There's some great high school stuff, but man, how can you not go for Rocky defense? 5 interceptions on Saturday in a win over Eastern Oregon, and these stats are absolutely crazy. The Battling Bears are 3rd in the country with 12 interceptions through 6 games. They lead the Frontier. In 5 of 6, Rockies picked off 1 pass. In 4 out of 6, at least 2 or more. Rocky leads the Frontier and the NAI in defensive touchdowns as well with 4. Man, 4 straight games Rocky has scored a defensive touchdown. And they forced 16 total turnovers. And they're only allowing 13.8 points per game, which is tops in the Frontier. So Rocky's defense football are Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. Pretty good stuff right there. Pretty good stuff. Auto Concepts, get in for your auto detailing. I need to get mine in. I know I got to get the bumper guard, but I need to get mine in for the detailing too. I mean, you drive back and forth from Great Falls, you drive out in the country, you drive wherever all summer long, and the dust accumulates. You don't think it does, but it does. And Auto Concepts detailing, best around. So make sure you get in there to Auto Concepts. Let's see here. Speaking of the Frontier Conference, your rankings in the NAI Top 25, Morningside number 1, but then you got College of Idaho moved up to number 7. And who else is in there? Rocky at 15. Highest ranking since October of last year. And Tech is ranked 25th in this week's poll. Coming off a tough loss to the College of Idaho, a basically last-minute loss. And Tech drops to 25. Let's see. Carroll, I think, receiving votes. So your Frontier stacking up to be another good one. Everybody's off this week, Frontier football and Frontier volleyball, at least as far as conference matchups. I think Eastern Oregon's playing a game in football. You got some of the volleyball heading to the Midwest and to down Southwest. Let's see here. You got College of Idaho 6-0, Rockies 5-1, Tech's 4-2, Carroll's 4-2. Those are your top 4 in the Frontier Conference. So there you go. And like I said, we had some really, really good nominees for Performance of the Week on the in the high school ranks too. But man, that you get 5 picks in a game. That's impressive. Whew, pretty impressive. Let's see here. What else did we see? I think that's it. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and when we do, oh, by the way, speaking of Frontier Conference, Ayla Embry named the NAI National Defender of the Week for volleyball. 3rd time she's won the award in her career. Leads the country in digs with 552. Averaged 8.86 digs per set in 2 wins at home last week over Western and Providence. So, and was also named the Frontier Defender of the Week. Who else won Frontier Awards? Everybody from Rocky. Bella Bryan was your Attacker of the Week. We mentioned Embry. I watched Ayla grow up. Great family. She was just a sweetheart from Bozeman. And then Setter of the Week, Blythe Seeley. So there you go. And everybody in the Frontier on the football side was from SOU or Eastern. Speaking of Eastern, you've got Eastern and Northern playing this week. They're 0-13 combined. Northern traveling out to LeGrand. EOU and Northern, here's your stat of the day, are allowing at least 37 points and over 400 yards of offense per game each. Who wins? Eastern Oregon. Northern. Man. Speaking of Southern Oregon, 3-3, Montana Western's 2-4, and then Northern and Eastern in there as well. Christian Graney of Southern Oregon was your offensive player of the week. Special teams, kicker, punter, Ethan Cutler from Eastern Oregon. I think he averaged over 55 yards per punt. And then on defense, Jake Regino of Southern Oregon. He was also the national defensive player of the week. So there you go. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Tell you what's in store for tomorrow. On this day in history coming up, the walk-off and more here on the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you.
Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Fall is officially here, and now is the perfect time to get your rig tuned up before the big hunt. That means a lift kit from Auto Concepts. An Auto Concepts lift kit will help take you places only the animals can go. And when you do get that big one, make sure you have help to get it home with a winch to pull it out. Or maybe you'll be a good friend and help pull someone out of the snowbank. Check out AutoConceptsHelena.com for more ideas. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Summer, the season to work hard, play hard. The days are heating up and getting longer. The smell of fresh cut grass, the hot sun on your skin. We kidding. We all know you're really thinking about having fun and relaxing at the Copper Club Casino. Meet your friends for a cold one. Play a $5 or $2. When you want great service, cold drinks, and fun entertainment, this is the place. The Copper Club Casino, where everybody knows your name any time of year. On Euclid across from Molendi Center, the Copper Club Casino.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back. Final segment brought to you by the Copper Club Casino. Hot games, warm staff, cold beer. Stop in on Euclid in Helena. Got the cast off last week. I still have to wear this brace for the next 4 weeks. But after the x-ray, the doc says that the hand is looking good. Let's see if I can't turn that far. There's the scar. There it is. But yeah, it's looking a little better, but healing. So I have to wear this for the next 4 weeks. 3.5, I guess, and then I can start a little PT. Maybe sneak in some golf. It stays nice. There was soccer Tuesday. Capital girls were up 3-0 at home to Big Sky and ended up with a 3-3 draw. So they'd like to have that one back. Staying in 5th in the Western AA. Capital boys, big matchup coming up this week. Against Hellgate, at Hellgate, Saturday. Top seed in the Western AA, home field advantage through the playoffs is up for grabs. Bruins owned the win over Hellgate earlier this year. Hellgate has not lost, aside from that. Capital 10-0-3 on the boys' side. Let's see, Helena High girls in second. They'll be at Big Sky. I don't have the results for them tonight, but they need to beat Hellgate Big Sky rather, on Saturday. Playoffs start next week. A week from today, soccer playoffs in the state of Montana. Can you believe it? It is nuts. Had a good weekend. Hope you did too. The wife was out of town. She was she went to Sleepy Hollow. They had some big weekend extravaganza. Went out there with one of her coworkers and friends. And she had fun. She had fun with the son being home and hanging out with the little one. It was a busy weekend. Had to go get slippers for her school because they got a new rug. So I had to get slippers for her school. We went to the park on Sunday, and then we went for a walk. Did puzzles, did a whole lot of things. Coloring. It was fun. It was a fun weekend. I love hanging out with the little one. Just absolutely do. And Bob's cool too, the boy. But, yeah, love hanging out with the kids. This weekend I'll be busy, so I won't get to see the little one as much. I'll be up in Great Falls. We've got the Argos have 2 soccer games on Friday, 2 soccer games on Saturday, women's basketball scrimmage on Saturday. Yeah, basketball season starts in a couple of weeks, folks, in the NAI. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, man. Let's see. What else? Baseball playoffs continuing, the NFL. Yay. My fantasy team, I made a mistake 2 weeks ago. I trusted the experts. I benched one of my running backs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, for Tony Pollard from Dallas. They said Pollard was going to score more. So I said, okay. Well, he ended up scoring 0 points 2 weeks ago. Edwards-Helaire had enough, like 22, to get me over the top. I would have won, lost by 8, and lost for the first time. Bounced back in a big way this week. Josh Allen, a quarterback, it's tough to go against. And I have him as my quarterback, and man, what a first half he had, right? Against Pittsburgh. I called my mom on Sunday, and she's a huge Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I should call Coach Lang out at Boulder. He's a big Steeler fan too. But I called my mom and said, I'm so glad your team sucks because my fantasy quarterback just put up a boatload of points against your team in one half of play. So it was fun. It was a good time. And then, so I put Edwards-Helaire back in Kansas City. I think he got me 2 points. I didn't need it. I ended up winning by almost 100. But I had like 154-62 win or something like that. But I put Edwards-Helaire back in. He gets me 2 points. Pollard on the bench gets me 20. There was a guy, though, who had the Buffalo wide receiver who had a couple of catches, 160 yards, and like 46 fantasy points sitting on the bench. Those are the tough ones. Let's do On This Day in History. It is National October the 11th, National Coming Out Day, National Sausage Pizza Day. It is International Day of the Girl Child Day. 1911 on this day, Ty Cobb of the American League and Frank Schulte of the NL named the very first MLB MVPs for the year. The prize was a car. In 1925, the New York Giants played the first NFL game for them, lose to Providence 14-0. There was another note. what year 1927. Babe Ruth hit 60 home runs that year. Lou Gehrig would end up winning the MVP award. He had a great year, but not 60 home runs. But Gehrig would win the award because at the time, you could not win the award more than once, and Babe had already won it. Glad they changed that one. 1948, we mentioned this with Coach Broadhead, Baseball World Series. Indians beat the Boston Braves to win the series 4-2. Ty Murray, born on this date, the great cowboy, 5-time all-around world champ, great bull rider, born in Phoenix, 1969. Michelle Wie, born on this date, 1988. She played at the U.S. Open when she was 15 years old. And on this date in 1809, Meriwether Lewis passed away. Soldier, public administrator, part of the Lewis and Clark expedition. He died of gunshot wounds at the age of 35. Some people say it was murder. Some people say it was suicide. It was at an inn called Grinder's Stand in Natchez Trace, Tennessee. So, what really did happen to Meriwether Lewis? And I can't remember the show we were watching. Oh, Mysteries at the Museum. My wife and, well, we were dating at the time. We were watching Mysteries at the Museum, and they did a segment on, I don't know if it was Lewis or Clark, but some of his clothes have blood on them. And it's at the Mason's Lodge here in Helena. You can go in and see it. It's pretty cool. History in our own backyard. Let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off is presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in for the best Cajun this side of New Orleans. And go in, because if you are a first responder, EMT, military, law enforcement, firefighter, whatever, you get your drink for free. They take care of those that take care of us. And you should stop into Cafe Zydeco for lunch, grab a dinner some nights. It's really, really, really awesome. Great people, great staff, and great patriots as well. I had a good time talking to Dane Broadhead. If you missed anything, make sure you check it out on jasonwalkershow.com. Tomorrow, Alex Eshelman will join us. The Eschel Special will be back. Looking forward to getting her updates on MSU football, and also big game, Gallatin-Bozeman this week at Vigilante. No, it's not. It's Van Winkle Stadium. Speaking of Sleepy Hollow. Not the same, though. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Alex Eshelman will join us, and who knows what else. Right here on the Jason Walker, the award-nominated, we're winning, Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.